Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Kyle, and for today's Tools Day, we're gonna talk about a power tool that I've been using the entire building season, so let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about the Bosch Bulldog, but you know, a lot of people think bigger is better, and I've got a lot of big SDS rotary hammers that I do use quite often, but they're so big. I mean, look at the size of this thing compared to what we're going to talk about, the Bulldog. They all have their application, and maybe in the future I can do a video about these larger SDS Max rotary hammers, which are going to use bits like this. But for today's video, we're going to talk about the Bosch Bulldog. This is the newer. I've been using it now since about the springtime of 2019. This is basically like a staple in the industry, the Bosch Bulldog. The D handle, it's been around, and I think it's been replicated by a lot of different brands, this style of a rotary hammer. This was my first rotary hammer that I ever bought, the corded version, and that goes back probably 10 years ago. But now they have it as a cordless option, as most manufacturers are moving all of their new tools to cordless. Even these monster SDS Max rotary hammers, they have great performance just with a battery. But we'll talk about that maybe in a future video. So this is the 1-inch SDS Max or SDS Plus rotary hammer like I was talking about. It's dubbed the Bulldog. The model number, I don't know, Bosch does a really weird model number on all of their tools. It just seems not to make a lot of sense, but GBH 18V-26D. I'll put that down below if you guys are interested in looking this up. The specs on this tool specifically are pretty good. Compared to the corded version, they claim it to be better, Bosch does, and I would have to agree with them after using the corded for so many years. And I know you guys are gonna say, hopefully you're gonna do a demo, corded versus corded, but I sold my corded version because there's no way I'm ever gonna use it again. So you're not gonna get that demo out of me today, guys. So this is gonna come with the brushless motor, as most tools are going that way, and Bosch utilizes the 21700 cell technology on their batteries, which gives you better performance, smaller battery packs, they charge faster, all those good things. So good on Bosch to be utilizing the 21700 cells. So does DeWalt with their Flex Volt, the new Milwaukee high output. So it's somewhere that most manufacturers are going right now, is the 21700 battery cells. So that's a good thing. I usually just rock a 4 amp hour, but I do have an 8 amp hour. And I want to reference the build series that I just am wrapping up on the YouTube channel here, which is the hunting cabin. If you guys go back to the first video, I use this for that whole job, and every fastener that I put in on those brackets that we mount our building to the concrete with, I did all of those Tapcons with one 8.0 battery and a 4 amp hour battery on the vacuum, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. The nice thing about this tool is it only weighs like 5.8 pounds, so it's less than 6 pounds. It's super lightweight compared, size comparison wise, you can definitely see the difference. And unless you're drilling some monster holes, this is gonna do almost everything. So this is a 1-inch SDS, which means that's kind of what it's rated for, up to a 1-inch hole. I typically just use it for Tapcons. Sometimes I will put in a 5/8 bit, and it performs great. It's got 1.9 foot-pounds of impact energy, and I don't really know exactly what that equates to, because those are just numbers to me. I'm more of a realist guy on the job site, and it's performed quite well. Here you've got 3 modes. You've got your drilling mode, which is not gonna activate the hammer, and then you can also go just to a straight hammer mode, which is good for chipping, or maybe you want to pull up tile on a floor. This is going to be a great tool to do that. You can put different bits on for different applications. And then you've obviously got the hammer drill mode, which is what I typically use to drill some holes in concrete. So another nice feature that Bosch is actually putting in a lot of their tools, including a drill that I have, as well as a grinder with the new X-Lock technology, which maybe will be a future video. So definitely tune in if you're interested in that, and drop me a comment down below if that is a video that you would like to have me do in the future. But what's nice is this has that kickback control. So if you're drilling into some concrete, you hit rebar, it's not gonna rack around and ruin your hand. It actually, let me see if I can do it just, and you can maybe get an idea what I'm talking about. See that? My hand never left the trigger, but just the sheer quick motion. It has a gyroscope or something in there that's sensing that motion, and it instantly shuts it off. That's gonna save your wrist. If you used to use old corded tools without those brakes, a lot of guys broke arms. It's telling me right here that there's a problem. Let your hand off the trigger, and you can go right back at it. So this tool set's about $199, and like I said, I'll drop links down below if you're interested. That's gonna come with the battery, the charger, and the drill itself. Now what I like is, as most companies are these days, they're thinking about dust control. Silica dust isn't a joke, and obviously OSHA is a big deal. So this is a HEPA vacuum that attaches very easily to the drill itself. I mean, that's it. It just clicks in, and now it has its own battery. It's got its own space for all the dust. You can hold, if you were using a 1/2-inch drill bit, you could dig a 40-inch hole and contain all of that dust in this housing here. And like I said, I was able to drill, I think, don't quote me on this, I think I actually quoted it in the video in the building series, but I was able to drill and vacuum out, I think it was like 80 holes, so it's pretty impressive technology. Even with the HEPA extractor attached to it, it doesn't make it overly bulky. It's still way less weight, way easier to manage than one of these larger SDS Max drills that I do have also. And what's nice is with the handle, with the D handle design that is so common with this Bulldog, it's really nice if you're working above head or on a ladder. It's just very ergonomic and comfortable. So really enough about the specs. You can't really go too hard into the specs of a hammer drill. I mean, it's made to specifically do a couple things, and that is bust up concrete or drill holes in concrete. So I thought it is a little bit crappy outside, but we could go out, we could hook up a couple bits, maybe drill through a couple holes, show you guys how the extractor works and just the overall performance of the drill. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're outside here. I got this pile of stone and I got this chunk of concrete. I really just wanted to show you guys how it works. Mainly, I think the dust extraction on the bit is really good and worthwhile. So whenever I'm doing these videos, you know, it's not to try to sell you on a product. It's try to help educate you so you don't go out and spend your hard-earned money on a tool that isn't gonna work for you based on some hype or some specs or reviews that you might see elsewhere. So I've been using the Bulldog for, like I said, all this season, so probably about 6 months worth of building. I've drilled a lot of holes and it's great. So without further ado, I've got a 5/8-inch hole or bit on here to drill a 5/8-inch hole. And I'm gonna go ahead and first not use the vacuum and show you what it does. And then we'll go ahead and turn the vacuum on after the fact. Now this is super old. I don't know how old, but it's probably gonna be nice and hard. So here we go. So obviously you can see all the dust there. I wasn't pushing super hard, but I can definitely push hard. I just prefer to let the tool do the job. Now let's go ahead and let's turn on the HEPA vacuum and see how it does with dust control. So, two things to note. Obviously, way less material, but did you notice that it actually drilled a lot quicker? So what's gonna happen when you use dust control is by getting all of that material out of your hole, it's actually gonna extend the life of your bit and it's gonna make you a lot more efficient. So not only is it good to be safe, not breathe in all that dust, or for those around you that are working with you, but it actually makes you a more efficient carpenter or builder or whatever by using this, because it's gonna run a lot quicker. So that's pretty much it, man. I mean, what else do you do to demo a tool that drills holes other than drill a couple holes? So hopefully this helped somebody out there make a good decision on going out and buying a tool that's going to make your job easier and more efficient. The cordless version, which is what I'm showing you guys here, is better than the corded. I promise you, I've owned both, and the freedom to go anywhere without having to lug around a cord or have power on site is well worth it. At $200, I think that's a pretty good price. And there's a lot coming from Bosch. I've seen some pretty cool tool innovations. And so if you're getting into the platform for the first time, I don't think you'll be super disappointed. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully it helped you, and I appreciate the support. We'll see you guys on the next video.